Dear students, welcome to the science class. I am Archana Dikshit from CC Shah Sarvajanik English High School. We will do the chapter 2, acids, bases and salts, and we will discuss the properties of acids and bases today. First of all, we take the introduction of acids. ACIDs, acids. Acid term has been derived from Latin word acidus. ACIDUS, acidus. Acidus means sour in taste. SOUR, sour in taste. The common acids which we use in our daily life, let us take such examples. Number 1, acetic acid, that is actually vinegar, that we use for various dishes. Vinegar, acetic acid. Then second is citric acid. Citric acid that is found in lemon, orange, etc. And you know that they are also sour in taste. Then formic acid. Formic acid is found in the sting of ants and bee. When they bite, we experience the irritation and swelling, pain. Then fourth number I have taken HCl. HCl which is secreted in gastric juice in the stomach to kill bacteria and make the medium acidic. Fifth I have taken lactic acid. Lactic acid is found in the curd. So with these you are familiar. So now we will do the properties. You know that acids convert blue litmus paper into red, and vice versa bases do. Blue litmus paper is converted into red. So here I want to tell you something about the litmus. Actually, litmus solution is obtained from a plant, that is plant organism, that is called lichen, LICHEN. This lichen belongs to Thallophyta group. Thallophyta group, which you have done last year. So from this lichen, litmus solution is obtained, and it is actually red dye. And from that only litmus solution, like that, the paper can also be prepared from lichen, that is called litmus paper. It has the property of it has the property in which the acids can convert blue litmus paper into red. Now if we see the other properties of the acids, then other properties of the acids you will find, one is this, that they convert the blue litmus paper into red. One property, blue litmus paper is converted into red. Then it can react with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Because physical properties are clear to you, that they are sour in taste and this property. So then we will do about the chemical properties, that they can react with the carbonates, they can react with hydrogen carbonates, carbon dioxide gas is evolved. If they react with bases, then they form the salt. If they react with metals, they form hydrogen gas and salt is formed. So these are the chemical properties of acids. But before doing this, we'll take the concept of acid, that what is acid. Actually, an acid is a substance which produces hydrogen ions when dissolved in water. That is the definition of acid which was given by Arrhenius. An acid is a substance which when dissolved in water produces hydrogen ions. For example, more of I am telling you the acids. HCl I have written. H2SO4 you know sulfuric acid. H2CO3 you know carbonic acid. Similarly H3PO4 phosphoric acid. H3PO4 phosphoric acid. So these are the, and formula of acetic acid also CH3COH. Acids can be solid also and they can be in the liquid form also. Solid acids, for example citric acid, it can be in the form of crystals also. Then tartaric acid, which is obtained from tamarind, that also can be in the form of crystals. So they can be in the solid form also. So remember, when the acid is dissolved in water, then it produces hydrogen ions. So that is the one characteristic of acid. Now I tell you what happens in the hydrogen ion. First of all, I will tell you this about water. Water forms hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. This is the symbol used because if you combine these two, then it will form the reactant. So here this substance H2O is formed. So H2O is the substance. If you two this two added, then it forms H2O. Actually what happens, this is the dissociation of water. When the water dissociates into hydrogen and hydroxyl ion, actually that time it does not happen that whole of H2O gets converted into hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. Some of the H2O remains as undissolved. So that undissolved H2O will combine with this hydrogen ion and it forms actually hydronium ion H3O plus and hydroxyl ion. So that also should be clear to you. So here it will be written as 2H2. So you will find the reaction is balanced. This is called hydronium ion. This is important for you to understand that what is hydronium ion. Okay. So this we have done about the acids, introduction of acids. Now the chemical properties of acids we will do, but it is better that we do base also, so that you will have the idea of base also. Remember, bases are bitter in taste. These are different substances from acids. And the alkali word, bases, or they are also called as alkali. I will tell you the difference between the two later on. Alkali word has been derived from Arabic word which is called calcined ashes. Calcined ashes. Because you know, when something is burnt, then ashes are formed. For example, plant is burnt, then ashes will be formed. From that word it has been taken, ashes of plants and taken, and it was given the name alkali. When acids and bases both combine, then they form the salt and water. Acids and bases, I am writing here, acids plus base both combine and they form the salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction because acids and bases both are in opposite in their properties. So they form salt and water. You know that acids are sour in taste and bases or alkali are bitter in taste. Then acids turn blue litmus paper into red or blue litmus solution to red. Bases will convert red litmus solution, red litmus paper to blue. Examples of bases I give you. For example, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice. So here you find that OH, this is the property of the base. Here why we are getting these two? Because water is neutral. That's why we are getting hydrogen ion as well as hydroxyl ion. Okay. Now chemical properties of acids now we will do, so that you will understand chemical properties of acids. Action on litmus you know very well. Then chemical properties of acids, for example, sodium carbonate I am taking, Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. If it reacts with hydrochloric acid, then what it will form? Remember, whenever carbonates are there, they will form CO2 gas definitely. So here it will form NaCl plus CO2 plus you can write H2. If you write here 2, then you will see the reaction is balanced. Na2, 2Na here, C, oxygen is how much? 3 here, you also find 2 plus 1, 3, hydrogen 2, hydrogen is also 2. So reaction is balanced. So this way when it reacts with carbonates or hydrogen carbonates. Hydrogen carbonate, for example, you can take bicarbonate, hydrogen carbonates. Then also it will form salt, water and carbon dioxide. For example, I am taking NaHCO3. This is sodium bicarbonate. When it is reacting with, suppose now acid we take H2SO4. This acid we are taking. So it will form salt, that will be Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, plus CO2 plus H2O. Here you will have to put 2, so that this is balanced, 2Na2. SO4 is balanced. Carbon is also 2, but here carbon is only 1. So what you will do, you will write here 2. Now carbon is also balanced, this also, now the reaction is balanced. So this way when it reacts, it forms salt, carbon dioxide and water. So this reaction is clear to you. Then we are going to do this, we did the first. Then we are going to do when it reacts with base here NaOH, base. When it reacts with base, this is acid, this is base, so it will form NaCl plus H2O. So you understand salt and water are formed, and this reaction is called neutralization reaction. Okay, this reaction is balanced. Similarly, when it reacts with metals, for example, third, when it reacts with metals, suppose zinc plus HCl, then what it forms? It forms zinc chloride. That means this is also salt, this is also salt, this is also salt, and this is also salt. So it will form ZnCl2 plus H2, hydrogen gas is evolved. You can do it, it is balanced now. So these are the properties of acids. So acids can be of various types, I tell you. Number 1, organic acids. Second is inorganic acids. Organic acids are those acids which are obtained from the organic matter. Example I gave you just now, except HCl, all organic acids. And inorganic acids are those which are obtained from minerals. These are HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, H3PO4. These are all inorganic acids. Then there can be strong acids also and there can be strong acids also and weak acids also. Strong acids, when they dissociate to the large extent, then they are called strong acids. Weak acids, when they undergo dissociation weakly to small extent only, they do not dissociate easily, they are called weak acids. They cannot dissociate. For example, acetic acid is a weak acid. H2SO4, HNO3, HCl, they are considered as strong acids. Then acids can be concentrated or dilute also. Dilute acid is having large number of water in it, and concentrate acid has very little water in it. So I think for acids it is clear to you. Now we are going to do about the base first of all, so that you will have idea about the base also, that what are bases. Introduction I gave you, and now we will do the properties of the bases. So you can see here that in bases there are hydroxyl ions. First of all, I want to tell you what is the difference between bases and alkalis. Those bases which are soluble in water, they are called alkalis. That is the difference. Some bases are there, they are base, but they cannot be dissolved in water. So they are not alkalis. Alkalis are only those which can be dissolved in water. For example, I am taking the example of bases. Properties we have done, that they are bitter in taste, they convert the red litmus paper into blue. Okay, so NaOH can be dissociated into sodium ion and hydroxyl ion. Now since it can be dissolved in water, so it is the example of the alkali. There also can be the weak alkali and strong alkali. This is strong alkali. Weak alkali, for example, NH4OH. This is a weak alkali. This also forms NH4 ion plus hydroxyl. So what you observe, that in case of acids, they form hydrogen ion. For example, again I show you here, HCl. For example, if HCl gets dissociated, it will form hydrogen ion and chloride ion. And here you see they form OH ion. Alkalis form the hydroxyl ion. So these were the few properties of hydrogen and hydroxyl with respect to the acid and base. Hydronium ion, I have already told you how hydronium ion is formed. H plus H2H3O. All the reactions are there in your textbook, so you can refer your textbook for that. But before that, litmus paper we have done, and I want to discuss something about the indicators. Indicators can be of two types. Indicators can be natural indicators, or they can be the chemical indicators. Chemical indicators are phenolphthalein and methyl orange, for example. Phenolphthalein and methyl orange are the chemical indicators. Turmeric, for example, is a natural indicator. Now in case of indicator with respect to acid and base, what change they show? For example, phenolphthalein solution, it remain colorless when acid means it is colorless. Phenolphthalein solution colorless. In case of if we take the base, then it will turn pink. Understood? Phenolphthalein, I am taking the example. In case of phenolphthalein, it remains colorless when acid is put into it, and if you put base into it, for example potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide, then it will turn pink. Now next is the chemical indicator methyl orange. Methyl orange shows two colors, one pink, one yellow. Pink color is shown by the acids. If you put few drops of acid into methyl orange solution will turn pink. And if you put base, few drops of base into it, then it will turn yellow. So this way you can identify that given solution is acid or base. So now you know two methods. One is the litmus paper method or litmus solution method. Second, you know methyl orange method. Then third is the phenolphthalein solution method. So they are called indicators. So here phenolphthalein and methyl orange are the indicators. I give you one example. Suppose while eating you are wearing white shirt, because in that it can be clearly seen. White shirt you are wearing, and if you put gravy on it, so then if you put the soap on it, so then what happens? It will turn into red color. And as you put water again, so red color will again turn into the yellowish color. So these are called the indicators which can identify whether they are acid or they are base. Now in your textbook also few activities are there, acids and bases here, which I explain you that you can write red litmus or blue litmus, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. I told you that in case of methyl orange what happens and how the color changes. So this activity 2.1 you can do. Now 2.2 also you can do, because that is also again the same thing, that few drops of HCl solution on one strip and NaOH solution on the other strip. So what you observe, so these activities you can try yourself. Now one activity 2.3 is there. Here in this zinc granules are taken and sulfuric acid has been put. I had taken an example of HCl, but H2SO4 also can be here, which I showed you. Here you can take H2SO4 also, zinc plus H2SO4. So it will form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. So here the gas bubbles, reaction will take place in both and gas bubble come out. So these gas bubble, burning of hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas does not support burning, but it itself can burn. So if you take a candle near to it with pop sound, burning of hydrogen can take place. So reactions are here, any one of the reaction can be written, because HCl can also be taken and H2SO4 can also be taken. Now with zinc you saw the reaction of HCl and H2SO4. Now I am showing the reaction with NaOH and zinc. Then it will form sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2, its formula also you remember, and hydrogen gas is formed. This is called sodium, and here you have to put sodium zincate. So this way 2NaOH. So now reaction is balanced also. Sodium zincate is formed. So with HCl I showed you, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate. Now calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is called the lime water. CaOH whole twice. This is called calcium hydroxide. It is lime water. If it is colorless, but if you pass CO2 gas in it for long time, then it will form CaCO3 and H2O. Thus it turns milky. This milky color is because of formation of calcium carbonate. Then if passing excess of carbon dioxide, then what will happen? It will form calcium carbonate again. Suppose you pass excess of carbon dioxide, because this is already formed, and if you pass excess of carbon dioxide, then it will form calcium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate will be formed, and thus it will become colorless. It will become colorless. A neutralization reaction I have explained you. Rest of the part we will do afterwards. Let us revise what we did today. That we have done chapter 2. The name is acids, bases and salts. First of all, you know that acids, the term has been derived from acidus, which is a Latin word. Then you know that acetic acid, citric acid or citric acid, formic acid, hydrochloric acid, lactic acid. These examples we have taken, which we come across in our daily life. And then other acids I have written: sulfuric acid, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid, acetic acid. Then you should know the properties of the acids. Here I have shown you the formation of hydronium ion, that this H2O ion only reacts with this and it forms the hydronium ion. So this is the formation of hydronium ion. Then bases are the calcined ashes. Calcined ashes are called when the plants are burnt, then they convert into the ashes form, calcined ashes. So difference between base and alkali I told you. Those bases which can be dissolved in water, they are known as alkalis. And neutralization reaction, when acid and base react together, then they form salt and water. Now we did about carbonates and hydrogen carbonates, that acids react, they form salt, carbon dioxide and water. Whenever carbonates are there, definitely CO2 will be formed. Then sodium hydroxide, it can dissociate into sodium ion, hydroxyl ion. Similarly as HCl can dissociate into hydrogen chloride ions. And thus as zinc can react with acid, zinc can also react with NaOH, then it forms sodium zincate, as you can see here. One more reaction is there that for you it is good to remember, because calcium hydroxide, when it reacts with CO2, it turns milky, though it was colorless. The milky color is due to calcium carbonate. It is that only when whitewashing is done, then the lime water is put on the walls and after some time it becomes white in color. It is because of the formation of calcium carbonate, because atmospheric carbon dioxide reacts with that. Then it forms calcium carbonate. And calcium carbonate, further if excess of carbon dioxide is passed in the solution, then it forms calcium bicarbonate and it becomes colorless. Thank you children. We will continue our chapter later. Okay. Thank you very much.